I'm starting this video with a bold statement. We have been scammed. For decades, legacy automakers have convinced us that luxury is a scarcity. That if you want soft closed doors, active air suspension, and cinema-grade screens, you need to mortgage your house. They call it premium pricing. I call it a lie. Because right now, in 2026, there is a car sitting in China that offers more features than a $120,000 Mercedes GLS for the price of a Honda CR-V. The LeapMotor D19 didn't just lower the bar for entry, it completely exposed the fact that the badge tax we pay in the US is one of the biggest ripoffs in history. I am genuinely staring at the sheet of paper in my hand right now, and I can't decide if I want to laugh, cry, or just throw my passport in the trash and move to Hangzhou. If you just bought a Range Rover, a Mercedes GLS, or even a Tesla Model X, I need you to emotionally prepare yourself because this video is going to hurt. Let's start with the single most insane fact about this vehicle, the one that made me drop my coffee this morning. This is the LeapMotor D19, and it comes in a version called an EREV. That stands for Extended Range Electric Vehicle. Usually that means a tiny little battery and a gas engine, right? Wrong! This thing has an 80.3 kilowatt hours battery just for the hybrid version. Do you realize how insane that is? The base Tesla Model 3 has a battery smaller than that, and it's a full EV. The LeapMotor D19 has a battery bigger than most pure electric cars in America just as its backup power source, giving it a pure electric range of 500 kilometers or about 310 miles before the gas engine even turns on. That means you could drive this massive luxury tank on electricity alone for longer than a standard Ford Mustang Mach-E can drive, period. And when the battery dies, you have a 1,200 kilometers total range. It's like they looked at range anxiety and just decided to delete it from existence. Walking up to the front of the D19, you are immediately struck by just how imposing this thing is. It's not trying to be cute, it's trying to intimidate you. The front end is dominated by this massive closed-off grille area that makes it look incredibly slick and aerodynamic despite being the size of a small apartment building. The headlights are these razor-thin LED clusters that don't just light up the road. They have active projection technology. They can literally project animations, crosswalks for pedestrians, or navigation arrows on the asphalt in front of you. It's the kind of feature you show off to your friends once and they hate you for it because they're $90,000, BMW just has lights. And can we talk about the sheer scale of this machine? It is over 5.2 meters long and nearly 2 meters wide. To put that in perspective for my American friends, this is bigger than a Land Cruiser 300. It's massive. But because it's Chinese tech, they didn't just make a brick. They added air curtains and active grille shutters to cheat the wind so it cuts through the air with a drag coefficient that shouldn't be physically possible for something this wide. The sensors are integrated so smoothly into the bodywork that you almost miss them, but they are there. We're talking LiDAR mounted on the roof, high-definition cameras in the fenders, and radar sensors hidden behind the bumper. It's watching everything. It's probably judging your outfit right now. Moving to the side profile, this is where the luxury flex really starts to hit you. The silhouette is very upright, very commanding, almost like a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, but smoothed out for the electric age. The door handles are flush, obviously because aerodynamic drag is the enemy. But unlike the annoying ones on a Tesla that freeze shut in winter, these are powered pop-out handles that sense you approaching. The wheels? Massive 21-inch alloys that look like turbine blades. They are wrapped in silent running tires because clearly road noise is for peasants. But look closely at the B-pillar. There's an NFC card reader and a camera for facial recognition entry. You don't need a key. You don't even need your phone. You just look at the car and it unlocks. It's biometric security on a family hauler, and it makes digging for keys feel absolutely prehistoric. The rear of the D19 is where the drama really kicks in. You have this full-width taillight bar that isn't just a red strip. It's a pixelated display. It can show charging status, say goodbye when you walk away, or display warning triangles to drivers behind you if you brake hard. It's communicative lighting, and the stance from the back, it's wide. It looks planted. You can see the air suspension crouching down when you put it in loading mode to put groceries in the back. And yes, it has a powered split tailgate, similar to a BMW X5 or a Range Rover, so you have a nice little bench to sit on while you contemplate why American legacy auto manufacturers are moving so slowly compared to this. Now let's pop the hood, or rather, let's talk about what's under the skin, because this powertrain is bordering on witchcraft. I mentioned the EREV version with its massive battery, but the pure EV version is even crazier. It sits on a 1000 volts architecture. Not 400 volts like a Tesla, not 800 volts like a Porsche Taycan or Audi e-tron GT, 1000 volts. That means charging speeds that are theoretically faster than anything we have chargers for the States right now. You can add 350 kilometers of range in 15 minutes. By the time you walk into the gas station to buy a bag of chips and a Gatorade, the car is done. And the power? The pure EV version puts out 540 kilowatts. That is 724 horsepower. In a family SUV, it does 0 to 60 inches under 3 seconds. Let me repeat that. A full-size luxury bus that accelerates faster than a Lamborghini Huracan. It makes absolutely no sense, and I love it. But speed is easy. Anyone can slap a big motor in a car. What's impressive is the chassis tech. The D19 has dual-chamber air suspension and something called CDC damping, which scans the road ahead and adjusts the stiffness of the shocks in milliseconds. If you see a pothole, the car softens that specific wheel before you even hit it. You literally float over imperfections. It also has a feature called compass turn, which uses the electric motors to spin the wheels in opposite directions, allowing this giant beast to turn almost on a dime in tight spaces. It's the kind of agility that defies physics. It's like watching a linebacker do ballet. Okay, deep breath. We need to talk about the interior. If the exterior is a spaceship, the interior is a private jet designed by Apple. You open the soft-close, frameless doors, and you are greeted by acres of Nappa leather and microfiber suede. There's no cheap plastic here. If it looks like metal, it's cold to the touch. If it looks like wood, it's real open-pore wood. The dashboard is dominated by a triple-screen setup, but it's not just slapped on there. You have a 10.2 5-inch instrument cluster, a massive 17.3-inch 25K central control screen, and a dedicated entertainment screen for the passenger. But the real magic is the chip powering it. They are using dual Qualcomm Snapdragon 8797 chips. Most cars are still struggling to get the older 8155 chip to run smoothly. This car has two of the newest, most powerful processors in the industry. The screen responsiveness is faster than an iPad Pro. You swipe, it moves instantly. No lag, no stutter, it's buttery smooth. And then there are the seats. LeapMotor calls them zero-gravity seats, and they aren't kidding. The front passenger seat and the second row captain's chairs can fully recline into a sleeping position with a deployable leg rest. But here's the kicker. They have a cloud oscillation massage function. It's not just poking you in the back. It uses wave-like patterns to actually relax your muscles. You could fall asleep in this car in 5 minutes. And to make sure you do, the car has active noise cancellation that uses the speakers to cancel out wind and tire noise, creating a library level of silence inside. But wait, I haven't even told you the weirdest, most China-only feature yet. The D19 has an onboard oxygen generator. Yes, you heard me, an oxygen generator. It can produce 8 liters of oxygen per minute to keep the cabin air fresh and help with alertness on long drives, or if you drive up to high altitudes. It's literally a life support system. While American cars are struggling to give us a working, cool glove box, this car is synthesizing breathable air. It's such a flex. Imagine picking up a date and saying, "Hey, let me just turn up the oxygen purity for you." It's absurd. It's unnecessary. I want it immediately. Moving to the back row, the boss seats. The second row has its own climate zones, obviously, but it also has a fridge, and not one of those weak coolers that keeps your soda slightly less warm. This is a compressor fridge that can freeze down to -6 degrees Celsius, or heat up to 50 degrees. You can keep ice cream frozen in here. Above you, there is a massive panoramic glass roof that stretches all the way to the back. But if the sun is too much, you can voice command the electric sunshade to close. And for entertainment, a 21.4-inch 3K screen folds down. It supports wireless screencasting, gaming, and streaming. It's literally a cinema on wheels. My kids would never ask, "Are we there yet?" again. They'd probably ask me to drive longer. Let's talk about practicality for a second, because usually these super luxury SUVs have tiny trunks, not the D19. Even with a third row up, you can fit a couple of carry-on suitcases. Fold the third row flat, which is electric by the way, and you have a cavernous space. You could fit a week's worth of Costco regrets in here, no problem. The third row isn't a penalty box either. I'm an adult male and I can fit back there with decent knee room because the floor is flat. There are USB-C ports in the third row, cup holders, and even air vents. They actually care about the people sitting in the cheap seats. Now we have to address the elephant in the room, the safety and autonomous driving tech. The D19 is equipped with LeapMotor's Pilot 4 system. It uses that roof-mounted LiDAR I mentioned, plus 12 cameras and 5mm wave radars. It's capable of navigation on autopilot in cities, not just highways. It can navigate roundabouts, stop for red lights, change lanes to overtake slow traffic, and handle on-ramps and off-ramps completely on its own. It's effectively level 3 autonomous driving ready, and the visualization on the screen shows you everything: pedestrians, traffic cones, dogs, cyclists, in 3D, in real time. It builds trust, because you can see what the car sees. Compare that to the phantom braking issues we still deal with in some US cars, and it's just embarrassing. But here's where the knife twists. Here's where the real jealousy sets in. We need to talk about the price. In China, this car, this 700 horsepower, 1000 volt, oxygen generating, 500-mile range, cinema on-wheel spaceship is rumored to start around 300,000 RMB. Let me do the math for you. That is approximately 42,000 US dollars. 42,000. Are you kidding me? For 42K in the US, you can barely get a decently optioned Honda CR-V hybrid. You definitely can't even get a base Model Y anymore. You can't even sniff the tires of a BMW X5. And here is LeapMotor selling a car that competes with the Mercedes EQS SUV and the Tesla Model X for the price of a mid-sized Toyota. It feels illegal. It feels like they cheated on a test. How is the manufacturing efficiency this high? I know what you're thinking. Oh, but the build quality must be trash, right? That's the coping mechanism we use. We tell ourselves Chinese cars are cheap junk to feel better. But looking at the reviews coming out of China, looking at the panel gaps, the stitching on the leather, the solidity of the buttons, it's not junk, it's premium. LeapMotor has Stellantis, the parent company of Jeep and Dodge, as a major shareholder now. They're using global standards. This isn't a toy. It's a world-class product that just happens to cost half as much as it should. And that brings me to the sad reality. We aren't getting this car. Because of tariffs, trade wars, and regulations, the LeapMotor D19 will likely never touch US soil. We have to watch from the sidelines, while Europe, Southeast Asia, and South America get to drive the future, and we are stuck paying $60,000 for EVs with 2018 technology and hard plastics. It's genuinely frustrating as a car enthusiast. I want this competition here. I want Ford and GM to look at this car, sweat profusely, and be forced to innovate. Because right now, the D19 isn't just winning, it's running a victory lap while the competition is still tying their shoelaces. So, the LeapMotor D19? Is it the most advanced luxury SUV of 2026? On paper, yes. In terms of value, absolutely yes. It combines the best parts of a dedicated EV platform with the safety net of a massive hybrid battery, wraps it in a body that looks like a concept car, and sells it for the price of a Camry. It's a wake-up call, a loud 1000-volt wake-up call. If this is what 2026 looks like for the rest of the world, I'm seriously considering learning Mandarin. What do you guys think? Would you trade your Tesla or your Ford Explorer for this Chinese beast if it came to the States at that Ford? Write in the comments. See you there.